Black smoke and huge flames fill the night sky when an empty Hamilton warehouse catches fire. The flames burning so hot the siding on nearby houses melted. Well, crews spent hours hitting the building with water trying to put the flames out and cool off what's left of the building. Chopper 9, the only local helicopter getting your breaking news first, flew over the scene this morning, and Dan Carroll joins us with another look.
And here's a look at the inside of the building. At this hour, firefighters are still dealing with areas like this, pockets of flames where the fire really is still going quite strong. So that's why a lot of the smoke still continues to come up from what's left of this building. Here's another area where we've got flames as well. So even though they've been on this scene for hours and hours now, there are still a lot of portions of this building that are still on fire. Across the street, we can see some of those homes that were in close proximity, heavy damage to this two-story home, and then the house right next door, you can see some of the siding that has melted off the side of that home as well. So a good indicator of just how hot this fire was at the height of this fire very early this morning. So a lot of fire trucks still here, a lot of hoses still out, and then over on the west side of the building, they brought in some heavy equipment, and it looks like they are poised to start tearing down what's left of this building, because the portion that is left, it looks like it's ready to come down, practically on its own. So best bet is probably just go ahead and tear it down and get it over with. I'm Dan Carroll at Chopper 9.
Well, thankfully, nobody was hurt, and 9 on Your Side's Paola Suro was one of the first people on the scene. She spoke with those impacted by the flames.
Hamilton Fire Chief Mark Mercer says they took care of the citizens first, evacuating neighbors like the Huppards who live just feet away from the warehouse. You can see their shutters completely melted and their windows broken.
Oh my, it was like a nightmare. It was unreal, and it was like a big old orange ball of flame. It was terrible.
In the midst of all the smoke, Sean Huppard still feels grateful despite his melted home and car taillights.
Better than a human, though. I mean, you can replace anything. You can't replace a human.
Because in the end, everyone was safe. There were no injuries.
The whole thing was just an inferno.
You couldn't step out through the doors. The heat, it singed the hair on my arms.
At least 5 fire departments worked for hours to put out this warehouse fire that left neighbors evacuated for more than 2 hours.
An incident this big, it takes up a full city block, and just working with fire all around that building and having those crews working, it's great to have the support from those guys.
Chief Mercer says this old warehouse was not well maintained and had collapse issues in the past. And today was no different. The collapsing made it harder for firefighters to access the lower hotspots.
The top floor was still intact when we had seen it. Like, we was here when the floor caved in.
But to neighbors, this is more than just a problem building, which according to the chief was being used to store cardboard and plastics.
Well, it's been here before I was born. That's all wood in there. The framing is all mostly wood.
Although the cause of the fire is still under investigation, they are not ruling out the potential of someone being in the vacant building when the fire started.
It definitely was a cooler night than we've had in the last couple of weeks. 4:45 in the morning, so that's likely, somebody was in there that shouldn't have been in there.
Well, Butler County Emergency Management and the American Red Cross were here to help neighbors like the Huppards stay safe and stay hydrated. In Hamilton, Paola Suro, 9 on Your Side.